What's up guys, it's Bob here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to set up your Ballenger AFR 500C into the HP Tuners VCM Scanner. Okay, cool. So what you'll want to do is start with the VCM scanner open and connect up to the vehicle, power on the vehicle, meaning key on, engine off, and then also make sure your wideband is powered up as well. And it's had about 30 seconds or a minute to kind of wake up, go through its test sequence, and just be fully alive. So once you have everything set up and ready to go, you'll want to click on the connect vehicle icon. Now, if you have a log file open, you will need to close the log file first to do any of this, but we're going to wait while it connects. So now that we're connected to the vehicle, what we want to do is actually go back to the vehicle menu. Give it a second to catch up. There we go. And we want to click on Repull for supported parameters. Now that's going to talk to the vehicle again and go through all the available parameters now, which is important because we just added a new parameter, which is going to be the wideband's EQ ratio. So it's currently going through and scanning for that. And now we'll have access to everything that may have changed since the last time you connected to it. So we'll give it 1 second. Okay, great. So now that we're back to the normal home screen, we're going to go ahead and find an empty spot where we want to plug the wideband's data in the channels list. We're going to left click on it, then we're going to right click, and then we'll click on add channel. Okay, so here's what you need to look for. So when you're using a CAN bus based wideband, it always comes up as an unknown controller unless the people that make the software have added it in the software to the point that it can recognize it on the CAN bus for what it is. But in our case, we have it sitting out here on the CAN bus known as OBD controller unknown, which is very normal. So we can click where it says engine, and then fuel, open and close loop, oxygen sensors, and then finally you've got the EQ ratio 1, which is the mixture ratio. That's the one we're going to want, not the wideband voltage one. We're not worried about the voltage. Now if you want a shortcut to this in the future, I'm going to back out of this. I'm going to use the text filter. Put in WB. Currently it's filtering through all the available parameters for wideband, EQ ratio, and you'll notice it came up at the top there. Controller unknown, so we know it's the right one, and then EQ ratio 1. So however you get to this point, that's the one you're looking for with the Ballenger, so just double click it. And once it refreshes, you'll notice on the left-hand side here, it populates, then we can close this. So we're going to do a quick spot check just to make sure it does scan, that it will populate with data here. So we're going to click on the start scanning icon. There we go. So it is giving us data right now. We're going to stop the scanner for a second. We're going to do one more thing here. I'm going to show you how to add it to your charts. Okay, so we're going to right click, go to chart layout. There we go. And we're going to plug it into group 2. We've got an open spot here in group 2, so I'm going to click on group 2. And then I'm going to click on add series. Next thing we're going to do is go find the parameter. So the parameter we're looking for is wideband or WB EQ ratio 1. So we're going to click on that. Okay, so what we're going to do is search for WB. So if you just type in WB up here, it'll look for everything in the parameters list that's wideband related, WB. But in order to filter out everything we're not actually seeing in the channels, we click here. So it shows only parameters backed by channels. That's the important part. And then, ta-da, here you go. And you know it's correct because it's located in the same section. And then it says wideband EQ ratio 1, mixture ratio, so we're going to double click it. And now, here's a good question that we typically get. Do you want to use the generic equivalent, or do you want to use this exact parameter? The only difference is, if you define it as a generic sensor, I feel like it's more likely, and this has been my experience, to work across many vehicles when it sees it. If it's only this one particular vehicle, then you can say, no, I know what I'm doing. So we've got it here. It automatically labeled it as wideband 1. So that's what this is called. We do not need 3 decimal places. We'll leave it as 2. Now here's the cool part. You can kind of adjust how it's going to read right here in the units. You can also do it later in the channels. So if you like to work in lambda, you can make it lambda, and then you can adjust from there. Or you can say I'm only ever going to use gasoline, or if I'm maybe tuning on E85, I can pick ethanol. The whole point is it just rescales it for what you're used to for AFR because of the AFR scaling. So if it's gasoline, 14.7 is stoic, and typically, let's say forced induction, you'll be shooting for 11.5 to 1 AFR. Versus if you had the same car on E85, you're typically going to say, well, stoic is 9 to 1, and you're going to shoot for something like 7 AFR or something, or whatever it is you're preferring. So understand, this is just scaling. That's all this is. So we'll leave this as gasoline, 2 decimal places, and then we're going to fill in the limits. This just sets the min and max. So we're going to make the minimum 10 to 1 and the maximum 20 to 1. And then lastly, we'll want to look at the color and make sure that we didn't pick a color that's already taken in this group. So the white color here looks good. 2 decimal places, wideband 1. You can call it whatever you want. We'll just leave it as that. And then we're going to close this. Okay, so we're going to check and make sure everything works. We're going to start the scan. Click on Start Scanning. And here we go. So you'll notice something immediately, though. You say, okay, so this looks good. It's an AFR, but it's 16, but we see the scale here is 14.7. It does not match the channels. Why do we think that is? Well, we're going to right click over here and we're going to go to units, and we see this is set to ethanol. It won't hurt anything. Just understand, guys, everything is based on the channels. The channels are the inputs. Everything in the graph and the charts off to the right over here, this is just different ways of looking at the data. So it'll match if I pick gasoline. So everything here should look pretty good. And yeah, so from this point forward, your new Ballenger CAN bus is ready to roll. Now, the last thing I will tell you is to save your setup here. So we're going to stop the scanner so you don't have to go through all this again. You'll want to save your channels list. So you want to call it something that you're used to. Awesome sauce, that's a good one. You'll also do the same for your charts layout. Now, it's a little different for when you're doing charts. So I'm going to right click and go to charts layout. And you're just going to click on this disk here and save the layout file that way. And so that'll save this group. And then you can always load it in the future that way if you happen to lose it. So hopefully that helps and you enjoy your new CAN bus setup on your Ballenger. All right, guys, so now we're going to walk through the setup of the Ballenger AFR 500 using analog outputs, and we're going to be using the HP Tuners VCM Scanner ProLink to get the data in. So we're going to start by looking at the Ballenger manual here, which is super exciting, but I'll take you right to the point. Here's what we need to know. Analog output is yellow, so it's the yellow wire, and we're also going to need the black with the white stripe to go to the ground. So we now need to know where to put them. So I've got my ProLink here with me. I'm going to go wire it up as soon as I figure this out. So I know yellow is my analog out and black and white is ground. So I'm going to go to HP Tuners. I've got their manual here for the ProLink. And so they actually have a little different coloring. So our black is our ground. That's easy. So that's going to go to the black and white. But my yellow is going to go to red. So my yellow in my Ballenger here, my analog output yellow, is actually going to go to red on the HP Tuners ProLink. So it's pretty simple. I'm going to go wire those up right now. And then as soon as I'm done with that, we're going to go into the software and set that up. All right, guys. So now we've got our connection made in the vehicle. So I've got my wiring done. So that's good to go. I've got the vehicle key on, engine off. And what I'm going to do next is make sure the wideband is powered up. So that's also good to go. And now I'm going to add it in the channels. So go ahead and open up your VCM scanner, physically connect to the vehicle, and then key on, engine off, like I said. And then pick a spot that you want to plug it in. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick here. And then I'm going to right click and add a channel. Now it won't overwrite this. It'll just plug it in above it. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit tricky, but it's pretty simple once you know what you're doing. So we're going to go down to external inputs because we're using the ProLink as the input, and you can actually use this process for anything you want to add to the vehicle that goes in through the ProLink from a 0 to 5 volt source. So you can put sensors on it or whatever it is you want to do. You're always going to come in here to where it says external inputs, and then beside these MPBI 2, 2 plus, and 3, open that up. This is a ProLink, so you're going to open that up. And remember earlier, I went to the red wire. So my yellow wire coming out went to the red wire and then black to black for ground. So I'm going to double click on that. And you'll notice it added it here. I'm going to go ahead and close this. So now I'm just going to do a quick spot check and make sure I actually get a voltage reading. Remember, this is going to be voltage, and we're going to have to transform it into something intelligible like wideband AFR in a second. But first, we just want to make sure that it's reading voltage. We're going to connect. Okay, and then we're going to scan. Yay, all right, so we got 5 volts here, which means the wideband itself, understand this, the wideband itself, as the analog output works, it has a 0 to 5 volt output, and I think it's a 10 to 20 AFR or a similar range. You can look it up in the book. You don't really have to worry about it too much right now. You just need to know that you've got 5 volts on there because the key's on, the engine's off, that sensor is reading free air, which is 20 to 1 or the maximum it can read. Okay, so we're going to stop the scanner by hitting the little blue rectangle there. Now we've got to transform this. This 5 volts means nothing to me when I'm tuning. I need to know what AFR that equates to. So we need to do what's called transforming it. Okay, so we're going to right click on this and we're going to pick transform. So they've already predefined several things that you can transform this 0 to 5 volt input into. So in our case, we can pick air fuel ratio. And you'll notice they've already have a ton of people's favorite widebands all through here. So what I'm working with here is the AFR 500 V2. It's what I have. I'm going to double click on it. And now we're back to our main screen. So let's go ahead and do this scan again. Let's hit the red button here. This will now change to AFR, which works fantastic. So we've got one more step to do. It's in the channels list. It's working correctly. I need to add it to my charts so I can see it while I'm tuning and overlay it with important data. Okay, so I'm going to stop the scanner. I'm going to right click over here in the charts, go to chart layout. I'm going to pick group 2 to add it to because it's empty. And then I'm going to pick this button here called add series. All right, now last I need to go find this parameter which we just imported here as the Ballenger. So we're going to select that. And we're going to find that under transforms, right? But we'll see here if it's possible. We can type in a couple key letters like Ballenger, B-A-L-L, and then I'll hit this button here. That now filters out everything that is not in the channels list. So that's a great hint if you're ever trying to bring in some data and you've got a ton of stuff to filter through and you're not sure which one it is. Always use this little gear with the check mark because that will only show you parameters that are backed by channels, which is super important because now you see how easy it is for me to go find this. Double clicking. Now it's going to ask you this, and this is a common question we get. Do I want to use the generic sensor for this, or do I want to actually use this as a Ballenger specifically? Here's the thing. If you choose generic, it tends to work more across all different vehicles you're going to connect to in the future. If you want to just really connect to this one, you can say, no, I know what I'm doing. And so it tends to work that way. Honestly, I haven't really ever had a problem either way. Okay, so last thing we're going to do is go ahead and set this up. And apparently, I was wrong earlier when I said I thought the range was 10 to 20 because this preset already preset this for 6 to 20. So it reads pretty low to pretty high here. So this is good. And as far as units go, we don't have to worry about it. We have 2 decimal places, and we have our range correctly set already. We just make sure that we didn't have any other of the same color ones in this group. So we have white, that's clean, that's good. And we're going to close this out. Now we're going to do one more scan. We're just going to check it and make sure that this reads correctly. So start our scan. All right, awesome. So now we've got 20 to 1 free air, 19.99. So if we fire this up and drive it around, we're going to make sure it looks good and matches what's on the display. That's always the very last step you want to do anytime you use an analog output. This should match pretty darn well. But I always tell people, just as a general caution, and we've had this problem for a long, long time, but it's mostly cleared up over the years, is what's called a ground offset error. So what that means is you bring your data in, and sometimes there's a slight mismatch between what the data says on the unit. Let's say it's 11.5 on the unit, it might say 12.0 over here, which you obviously don't want. You don't typically see that anymore, but I always tell people, look, just double check and verify that they match, and they should match pretty well and pretty closely. So that's all you got to do to get moving on using your new Ballenger AFR in your HP Tuners VCM Scanner. All right, guys, so that wraps up our video for today. And we're going to see you in part 3 of the Ballenger series, where we talk about how to actually do a little bit of tuning with your new wideband.